Hello, beautiful family. How are you all doing? Thank you for the maximum love and the support. So, my beautiful people, today I have a quick one to share with you. One that's the normally station never and see. This is Progress the Analyst, and here I keep you updated. So, a lot of things happened during the question and answer from the Deputy Prime Minister, of which I'm here to carry you along. So, carry your joko, your popcorn. Let us dive into the issue in details.
m ụtụtụ ọma ụmụ ndị gboo, ekene m unu niile, ekene m ụmụ nze mụrụ nze m ọzọ, ekene m ụmụ aja, ekene m ụmụ ndị gboo.
First know what we are doing, where we are going, and some of the things that we do both openly and privately. If you have any question, any worries, things you're not clear about, this is the time to ask those questions. The ones I can take, I'll take them. The ones I cannot take, I'll let you know that I'm going to come back with the answer. That is what this session is for. First, let me let you know, we declared the United States of Biafra in Finland, November the 29th, 2024. And it was an event that was the climax of the several things that Biafrans have done over the years to redeclare Biafra. As some of you are aware, Biafra was a nation between 1967 and 1970, during the period when we fought a brutal war with Nigeria. During that war, many Biafrans, innocent children, were killed, mostly by starvation by the Nigerian state. And the way they did that is to block the food entrance of foods and other things into the Biafran territory. A couple of countries at that time played a role to help Biafrans, and those countries at this point are still supporting the independence and the sovereignty of the United States of Biafra. Biafra conducted a self-referendum, both online and at home physically, to ensure that we go through the peaceful process to remove ourselves from Nigeria. During this period, over 50 million Biafrans voted at home and abroad using different formats. That was presented when we were in Finland. Biafra has met all the criteria to be a full-fledged independent nation. We have our sovereignty cut out. We have our people that have participated in the self-referendum to exit Nigeria. Over 98% of Biafrans that participated in this voting process, they all voted for Biafra to exit Nigeria. Biafra has explored different sources of peace negotiation with Nigeria over the years, and some of that included when our leader Nnamdi Kanu called for the regional distribution of Nigeria, trying to let Biafrans to be independent and rule themselves. Nigeria rejected that. We have reached out to Nigeria to be able to let them know we want to conduct self-referendum. For over the past 10 years, Nigeria refused to do that. We also have reached out to different offices to the Nigerian state of the need for Biafra to be free. Nigeria has rejected that. Nigeria maintains that Biafra and Nigeria must be in the same place, must be one Nigeria, must be one nation, because of mostly the rich mineral resources that come from the Biafra region, which Nigeria is using to service themselves and give it to European countries that support their globalist agenda. And while our people lavish, lavish in squalor and in poverty, and not getting the basic education, the basic healthcare, just some of the basic things that people that produce minerals, such heavy amount of mineral resources that they're supposed to be enjoying. None of that is in Biafra land. We have no international airport in Biafra land, no seaport, no airport, no major railway line that has cut across to our region. Everything is being denied to Biafrans by the Nigeria state. Meanwhile, it is from this Biafra region that Nigeria gets most of the mineral reserves and resources they use to service European countries and some Western world. and Biafrans have come to say no more. We are not going to be the region that produces the rich oil reserves, while Nigeria state milk that and use that to siphon it to countries outside Biafra land and collect the money to continue to enhance terrorism in Nigeria. We all know the Nigerian state is one of the countries that rehabilitates and reintegrates non-terrorists into the military, police, and all their security services. Because most indigenous Nigerians have refused to join the Nigerian military and police because of the reintegration of non-terrorists into the Nigerian military. So what Nigerian state does is to reintegrate these terrorists, give them guns and ammunition, and ship them over to Biafra land to continue to kill innocent Biafrans who does not believe in one Nigeria. This killing has been going on for years, and now Biafrans have said no more of those killings. We cannot continue to stay in a country that reintegrates non-terrorists into its system, and you force us to live with terrorists. That is why Biafra declared their independence in Latin Finland on November the 29th, 2024. Nigeria state has also committed several atrocities, several criminal things against Biafra people. We have a lot of Biafran people in jail in different parts of Nigeria without no recourse to legal services, without no recourse to legal help. This is a country that arrests people, dump them in prisons without any remorse, without any opportunity for those individuals to bail themselves or even have their cases heard in court. So it's like we are still living in stone age in Nigeria. Nigeria is a failed state, and that has been documented in several areas. The worst part of this is the collusion of the Nigerian government with some European countries like Finland, like Britain, like the United Kingdom to suppress and destroy psychologically, emotionally, Biafrans all over the world, tagging us terrorists just for fighting for our freedom, just for our self-determination, just for trying to express ourselves. This is what Nigerian state has continued to do, colluding with European countries to continue to destroy our people. And we said no more of that. There are several instances. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu is still held today by the Nigeria state, going to almost 5 years for nothing, except the independence of Biafra. The United Nations Committee on Extraordinary Rendition has told Nigeria to leave Nnamdi Kanu and compensate him. Nigeria has refused to do that till date. About 2-3 competent courts inside Nigeria has gone through the case of our leader Nnamdi Kanu and acquitted and discharged him. Nigeria state continue to hold him till today as we speak. Why? Because they are more interested in milking our natural resources, milking the oil and giving it to their courts and the people they connive with abroad. France, Finland, England, Europe, all of that, Britain. Now, our leader, our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, just for the same reason, nothing more. Finland invited him 2 weeks before our redeclaration in Latin Finland. And since then, Finland is holding our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. For the same reason, Nigeria is holding Nnamdi Kanu. So this is a calculated systemic plan by European countries to continue to subjugate Biafrans, to kill Biafrans, and continue at the same time to milk our natural resources to develop their countries. That cannot continue anymore. You cannot continue to kill and destroy countries, destroy Biafra by holding their leaders and instigating the reintegrated terrorists to come to our land to kill our people. There are several reports of human rights abuses by Nigeria state. That has been documented. both by the United Nations, by African nations, the Organization of Emerging States in Africa. All these are well documented. Nigeria is forcefully removing all our male youths in Biafra land by killing them, taking them away, locking them up. Currently, as we speak, President Tinubu has his armored tanks inside the peaceful communities of Biafra land, attacking our people, hunting down our people for nothing. The same reason Finland is holding our prime minister. It is so easy for these European countries and the zoo country of Nigeria to label us terrorists. Why do they label us terrorists? They label us terrorists just because we want our freedom, nothing more. We want to make Biafra the nation, just like every other developing nation. We have better options. We have better services for our people, unlike what Nigerian offers. That is the crime of Biafrans, nothing more, nothing less. So anywhere Nigeria and Europeans, they see Biafrans, they try to tag them or label them terrorists. Recently, we have 4 innocent Biafrans that were arrested by our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in Finland for nothing except just helping for the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. Finland, through their president and staff, arrested these innocent Biafrans, locked them up for days, for months. And our Prime Minister today is still locked up in Finland for nothing. Even when those innocent Biafrans, 4 of them were left out, Finland still is suffering those Biafrans till today. Most of them cannot access their bank account. Most of them, their businesses have been destroyed by Finland. Most of them, they cannot even get any basic services they need to sustain their families. And Finland has continued to suffer these innocent Biafrans, including our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Just the same way, Britain, using Nigeria, have continued to suffer our leader Nnamdi Kanu. This is what we as a people are going through, and we say no more of that. We are going to use everything within our means, legally possible, to protect ourselves. Self-defense is not a crime. Between December and now, when Finland took away our prime minister, Nigerian state has murdered over 500 innocent Biafrans for nothing. These are people sleeping in their homes. These are people just walking around in front of their homes. Nigerian state, using the southeast and south-south delegitimized governors, Peter Obi, Soludo, they set up these criminal gangs. They call their agents, security agents, mostly reintegrated terrorists, and they use that to suppress and kill innocent Biafrans that are fighting for their freedom. This is what we are going through. You have a country in Nigeria where you have 2 laws. They use Sharia in the north, and they use the secular law in the south. One country. Innocent Christians that are born to Christian families in the north are made to use and go through and obey the Sharia law. Christians are murdered in Nigeria, buried, mass graves. Nobody is doing anything about that. All of you remember the story of Deborah, the innocent Christian that was murdered in the north. Nothing has been brought against those people that killed this individual. And so many other thousands of Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. And nobody is saying anything about it. That when we rise up, when we say we want our nation, we do not want to continue to live in a country where non-terrorists are reintegrated and rehabilitated. Nigerian state connive with their British counterpart, the globalist counterparts, to arrest innocent Biafrans and put them away, thinking that is going to stop our quest for our freedom. Some of the examples, we have the Finnish president talking about book promotion utterances. We hear Alex Stubb, you're talking about promotion of your book that you wrote going around. That is a big joke. And let's stop. How can you be talking about promoting a book about freedom? Meanwhile, you lock up our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, who is the head of a state. You lock him up in Finland. And you're going around making a jest of yourself, promoting a book you wrote. You should be ashamed of yourself to be promoting a book about freedom. And you lock up our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in Finnish jail. Or you just put him away. Let me use that word. And you're doing an investigation since November till now. You've not indicted this individual of any crime. And you're still investigating. And you're going about promoting your nonsense book you wrote. And you think we don't know what you're doing. We know the European Empire, led by Britain, crumbled years back. But all they are doing is to hang on to the Nigerian state that supplies them crude oil, which they use to survive. And they can kill anyone. They can go to any length to destroy Biafrans, to continue to milk their natural resources. Not anymore. France is now part of that circle, the globalists. We know the globalist agenda. France is now aiding Nigeria. That is why Nigeria was so scared of the coming of Donald Trump. Nigeria did everything possible to ensure that the president of America, Donald Trump, never came to power. They used people like Ngozi to write all the nonsense about world trade and all that. That is the plan. Nigeria worked against the coming of President Trump. It's a public domain. Because they know America promotes and supports the independence of people. America protects Christians. America protects the freedom of speech. Unlike what Finland is doing and what Europe is doing and what the Nigerian state is doing. Currently, Finland is holding the head of a state, the head of United States of Biafra. Finland knows very well that when they remove Simon Ekpa, Nigeria terrorist state will increase their activities of killing of innocent Biafrans. That is exactly what is going on. Finland planned with Nigeria and removed Simon Ekpa. And Nigeria increased their killing of innocent Biafrans. So what is the plan there, Finland? What is your plan with Nigeria? So you remove Simon Ekpa, one, to stop the restoration of the independence of Biafra. Secondly, to aid Nigerian state. The states that rehabilitate and reintegrate non-terrorists. You aided them in the killing of innocent Biafrans. As we speak right now, that is what you are doing. That is also what Britain is doing. So the time for crying is over. We are not going to beg anybody anymore. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu has talked enough. Our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has talked enough. I believe Finland, there is no document about the restoration of Biafra that you do not have on your table. That Prime Minister Simon Ekpa submitted both to the government of Finland and to all the necessary authorities. You have that information. But you wanted more of the bilateral relation between Nigeria and Finland. You prefer that to the human rights of Biafrans. You prefer that to the survival and to innocent lives that are killed by Nigerian terrorist state. You take preference to the oil that Tinubu is going to give you, Finland and France. We are fully aware of that. I'm using this opportunity to tell any country in the world that is planning or negotiating any business with Nigeria in the form of oil or mineral resources. We are calling on you to cancel that contract right now because it's never ever going to flourish. Biafra is now a sovereign nation. We've declared our independence and we are going to protect our territorial integrity. I also want to use this opportunity to tell Biafrans especially those of you that are opportune to have the liberty to serve as press people, or you have people that listen to you. You work in the media. I want to use this opportunity to tell you to stop the misinformation that you are spreading to Biafrans. There's so much misinformation that are being spread by these individuals who have the opportunity to create Biafrans that listen to them, both in local language and English language. You need to stop. You cannot continue to misinform Biafrans, misinform the world when you don't have the facts. You are doing more damage to the government. And some of the information we are going to relate to the world today to know some of these individuals that go about lying to Biafrans, trying to throw some Biafrans into depression for nothing, just coming on air to just call innocent Biafrans names, just to gain cheap popularity. We are going to play some of that today. I also want to use this opportunity to let everyone listening to me to know there is only one country, the United States of Biafra, with one leadership. That leadership is our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, and my humble self, Dr. Ngozi. Only one line of leadership. Anyone, anybody out there pretending to be anything else, please ignore them. They do not exist. These are criminals planted by the Nigerian state to continue to destabilize what we do. In every stage of the restoration of the independent state of Biafra, there are criminals planted by the Nigerian state to disrupt what we do. And I want the world to know there is nothing. This is a pattern. This is a systemic pattern of what they do. They know the right leadership. They know the right order. They know the right command. But the Nigerian government pays them to disrupt what we do. And what they do is to continue to create the chaos, the little chaos and confusion that they create out there to confuse the gullible, not the ones that are truly following, but they confuse the gullible ones because they are paid to do what they are doing. So I implore all Biafrans, I implore everyone listening to me to stay focused. Our focus is to peacefully or forcefully let Nigerian government move away from our territory. Nothing more, nothing less. We are going to use everything within our reach to defend ourselves, to defend our lands from all this killing of innocent Biafrans being perpetrated by the Nigerian state. That is what we are going to continue to do. I thank all the state governors. Biafra has 40 states. Each of those 40 states in Biafra land have 15 counties. And those counties are districts and wards. We already gave a notice to the Nigerian state to vacate anywhere they are in Biafra land. Any Nigerian military or police inside Biafra land, at this point, you are occupying a foreign state. We implore you to leave. We have all the evidences that we are peacefully imploring you to leave Biafra territory. Stop killing our people because we are going to react. You cannot continue to kill our people. You cannot continue to invade and occupy our nation. We've declared our nation. We've written to the Nigerian state. We've notified them of the independence of Biafra. We are exploring all the peaceful avenues at this time. But we cannot continue to allow them to kill our people and we just watch them do that. We are going to self-defend our land. Self-determination is our right. all the 40 state governors, I thank you so much for what you are doing. We have a decentralized military in our homeland, and we will continue to build and work on that. On this note, we are going to take questions from the people that are watching. As you all know, today we call it a question and answer session. If you have any question, please, you can raise up your hand and make your question as brief as possible. And I am going to try as much as possible to answer your questions. The Honorable Information, the Secretary, if you can take the hands. And please, if you cannot raise your hand using the tools that we have, let us know. You can just talk. Because we don't want people to say at the end of the day that they could not take their hands or we could not answer their questions. Meanwhile, they didn't raise their hand and they didn't let us know that they want to ask a question. All right, let's go ahead. Thank you so much, everyone. I wanted to, before you go, I wanted to let the world know and use this opportunity to also thank our Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra Defense Forces, Navy, and Air Force for what they're doing on ground to ensure that we protect our state, to ensure we protect our nation. Please do not listen to all the rumors and gossips and all the online online misinformation going on with some individuals. All they are planning is to destabilize what we are doing. Because you cannot claim that you want Biafra to come and at the same time you are out there in the public domain misinforming people, calling people's names. You don't know anyone. We are building a nation. We are building 40 states. Everyone has a role to play. It's not your duty. You don't have the right to come out on social media and be mentioning people's names. People you don't even know what they do. Because some people are calling you, gossiping to you, then you think you have the right to go on air and be just spilling out misinformation to the public. No one has a right to do that. It is not acceptable. We are building a nation. We have over 1 million jobs that Biafrans are lining up to take in the ministries, in the House of Representatives, in the legislatives, in the local government. Who are those that are going to do this job? There are millions of jobs in the defense, in the police, in security apparatus. Who are those that are going to take up these jobs? What are you fighting for? What do you need? Our greatest enemy is the Nigerian state that comes to kill us using the Southeast and South legitimized government and their agents, their security agents, and the reintegrated terrorists in Biafra land wearing the Nigerian military and police uniform. Those are our greatest enemies and the politicians that support them. Those are the individuals you should be fighting. Not fellow Biafrans because you have a personal beef with the individual. You come out to spill the nonsense, calling people's names that you don't even know who they are. Even if you know them, you have no right. You have no right to be misinforming Biafrans. I've seen a lot of misinformation. Like when somebody was saying that somebody was giving $50 million to an individual. That is a pure lie. And then you come out publicly to spill this nonsense to Biafrans because people just listen to you on the social media. Let us go ahead. And for those Biafrans, again, one more thing I want to say. I don't have any problem with anybody trying to do whatever or say there's freedom of information. But when that freedom of information amounts to spreading falsehood to the public, that's not acceptable. And for those of you that are being used by the Nigerian government, and when you go online or Twitter space, All you talk is about Dr. Ngozi Orebeze, Dr. Ngozi Orebeze. I ask you a question. Is Dr. Ngozi Orebeze the freedom that you're fighting for? Is Dr. Ngozi Orebeze the independence of the United States of Biafra that you are tasked to do by our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa and by our Onyendu Nambikano? Is Dr. Ngozi Orebeze your problem? Is that the freedom you're supposed to fight? Is that the terrorists you're supposed to fight? Is that the Nigerian state that are bringing people, the integrated terrorists to kill our people? Is that the independence you're supposed to be fighting for? When you spend 8 hours on Twitter space and talking about Dr. Orebeze, you think that will change anything? That will not change a thing. The roadmap, the plan for the restoration of the independent state of Biafra is already mapped out by our Prime Minister. That template must be followed from beginning to end. If you like, you go on social media, stay there, cry from now to the next 100 years. It's not going to move anything. It's not going to stop Biafrans. So I implore all Biafrans to come together. This is not the time to start backbiting. This is not the time to start going on air to just waste your precious time. The time you will use to be talking about Dr. Orebeze or Defense Minister or Information Minister or somebody else, you can use that time to map out something strategic for Biafra. You can use that time to meet the county or the congressman in your region and tell them about Biafra. You can use that time to go to the offices of individuals that are going to financially help us to restore, establish our military, establish our police, because we need the funding. That is what you're supposed to be doing. But if you continue to come online and disrupt what we do, that means we believe the Nigerian state is using you to disrupt what we are doing. And we are going to give you the treatment that you need. I promise you that.
Go to Igwe. Even if you go to Igwe, this guy is protecting our land. He sacrificed everything. He's like God. I'm going to be a land. God is God because I'm going to be any about them. I can do yesterday because I discussed with them. I'm a millionaire open. And I have a millionaire open. And that's not how for this moment I know that. The people wanted to be in our side. All those okay, all because of let's see where so the police okay. I call it expect. And that's when they go to forward. The way that. So when they go to non-forward, the way that you look by time that time. I don't know that dangerous people time now. They are cleaning our voice. Secretly, they supposed to have one after the other. Oh wow. Vico can yogi. Vico. I'm not going to miss your bank at there. But I Vico, anywhere I with this time on that. When you make an either and put that I need where yogi. But we think when they will give the ghost of that. Because here they will give the people to choose about when he only who I don't like which people only who know that is people is ready. But they are possible. You want the idea to go there with the idea. I told them I need it. Or even though you had a family, so I was so you put it. But they don't know no problem. Or who know that is with us. I don't care. What I care, we want to our people are dying. They are killing them secretly. Hey, we're going to do this power. One side. First, go to safeguard our land. That can say, I'm working. Because. And the other natural, he make him out. On gives me a very good fundraising, a general space. Can carry fundraising general space and have my problem. But now we are losing more in the I can use to play no more Biafra. We have to use our friend. We have to use our friend. And they use our friend and that no possible. Oh, I could ever be kissed on that party. And I'm on that now. Every end of the day, we need that in thought. We need that in thought. We fought. We give everything for you to be balanced, for you to balance. And they need to know we need an make cases on certain decisions. Make cases on a consult media thing. Because some of people yesterday, I don't like it. Into that new media, the bit of the new media, they are all but they cannot media of all the heat. If you better call those media, kita, who I take that imbalance here, I am with the idiot. That is statement for a movie. But you have many media saving of the all. Call them now. Have you know all? Call them those media now. Have you know all? Oh, why that is allowed in the article or don't call that possible. Or didn't call that possible. I didn't show you the possible. We thought. Maybe not today. We media team. We have to win media team. You are not having possible. Not is possible. We media team. We do very other easy. We do very it's so bad. That team will media team clear. But only the next year, this media team fighting everything. I don't know why this you. It can never be easy. Because as we fight it, we are going to fight it back. I promise. Because you'll be at the moment. This insult is enough. How about some they use the muscle also? If I hear Brucey, fundraising, this is space. You can go space with fundraising. I can't go that space with fundraising. No matter what I had a fundraising that space. So who knows what? This is so. They bring guys down. People should die. It can never happen. I swear with my life, it can never happen. I suffered a lot. I do everything for me to help you to be where you are today without who without food. But to never go hour 1 hour and a great any media fight this fight. When I any room. That is why I was media they shake up. It didn't happen. It was because it didn't even be there elsewhere. Why could yesterday job no way? Yesterday night was very bad. And then they expect me when he came upon Mamu to what? Mama, that never ended. May everything for you to be okay today, for you to be win. It can never happen. The little body I can stand with this agony. And you wait. Now, Lydia, please you wait. Swallowing him to yesterday, even oh, because the power of the judge just made for the game. In our one out for the game. Who are the woman I used to take? If also one who did you and nature that and different day. I suffered a lot. Then declare that Biafra. Oh, if I'm not around you, these people they have subdued you. Other than have been here, but this if you don't remember it now. If not, then see everything. And let me tell you something. You go calm down. My sister, calm down. Who's in the chat room? Who's in the chat room? Who's in the room? I call you now for you to become back and to bring yourself and this your muscle and this your power down. I just want to tell you by Monagana. I told me with the outside. But I will not continue. We are going to settle ourselves there. Thank you. Honorable because come on, have a monologue. This message in the same man because all the go to do so. I didn't go. So we do that. Then we go to Zeko. All the go to do so. I didn't go. See we do that. Then we go to Zeko. If we put two so, during their way to us and do so everything way in this world because of Biafra. All my talk is single-handed take care of people to like group here. Opoloka, Onya, their way back on. All that's now our COS, Alanka, because I'm able to do Alanka. I know, I'm going to work for this. I'm going to take that place. But if people choose up in for the account, yeah, it's centralized. I can walk to us. Oh, no, what else? Okay, that's what I know. But this guy, God, I don't know who from design today because of this ego to matter. Only well design. And the moment we identify from that, they can never be a fight. As they are, they will ego to choose a park on one side upon all his sacrifice. A park can ego to choose outside by the side. They are by a more that you go by the side. Even the ego to choose a very free. It is the only ego to choose a very everybody. This week we're all like game good. Oh, you put our chief of staff yesterday. Also, that they were a media. Then they were other than media, and they were too much into the door to buy it down. Why can those people do don't know where we need their most? Yeah, you know, monkey the walk by good eat. Oh, the why would the media team are not about sacrifice? Yeah, sacrifice that everything I wear. Who train die when they every day protect his US. Obviously now. There's a kita. There's a potential down all the way. Like decide, yeah, fight there. When they I told me, I didn't need to go what the Carlos say. I will respect you. But if you are not keeping my life, will or if you my effort, I will say no for that. So when they go where you go to go protect our land. Because for now, I'm not getting that. Guys are doing work. Guys is not doing nothing. I'm even needed like I'm our chief of staff. One cheek. One man, I'm a cheek. This man was into security before. All refused to come down, man. She refused to work with the chica. She refused categorically to work with the chica. What does it that what they want? I'm going to know this defense minister will sabotage for Ekpa. So the one who went to this man is a saboteur, sabotage this attitude. But nobody came. The one you told me. So if I was serious, like all day, he was say, no, they took them on a garden, out of them, who got also. Or back I this by the side. Yeah, we don't this more power here. We go to one side. We don't need it now. What we need is Biafra. Now the woman's by secretary. They put the new operation in the guy. They're not behind the village. They teach our boys. They were. That we okay. So I want to go to so inside. This operation, no guys can never get hit. How many bad? How many AVG? Why was COS? You have people to that guy when they go in this man. You have to want this man. Because he ain't more outside. And even they know what I'm outside from Cabinêt. Because I won't even know that place in it. I have to see home. They don't have to zone and I'll say them over. Because I can never be alive. Because even was it yesterday night. If you actually I have everything the body post. They will like that. They will like that. They will like that. They will like that. I just keep quiet and listen. Moving out one getting. Was who come there like Henry. I know I'm not good away in the some kind of cause. If it was not today, we fight it. Which is more one than the fun and the son of one. The way born today. I do everything in my power to protect his the honor. But I will do it is on my on the neck of the by Shako, Bonjo Joko. We don't have media team. We are I am the opposite side because what or that garbage. Because who is in on a for all the pen. Only people cannot. It's the enemy of them will get the more I see again. I am who go on after Mamma, they don't have the better money. Enough is enough. Here it doesn't look at money making a plan. Do anything today. Do make it what is on anywhere. If not to me, that all I know is the only thing look at it. It feel that Rangos are better than they born today. She can't be where she is today. All an up for an also. All up for also. Madam, when we done my joy or I go simply go. Where you get them out, she can do whatever she want to do. She can do whatever she don't want to do. But I'll be free to choose that. Eba is open. You go to choose that. Eba is open. Let her go for people to choose that. Who we go to choose your chair? You are your cheap people to choose. You go to choose this man sacrifice everything for his life. For him to abandon this guy with his group Meaning, no matter Biafrans need a back down. Oh, no, what I am now. That's the way we know. Who would exchange so clear? I will put a grand that. Oh, one damn your chief of staff. Now he's in, now he's a distant defense minister. Do want to Jarija. Oh, my Jarija, I know I'm from Jarija. And that the defense minister send it as a demand Jarija, and that one goes on the base of that Jarija. Oh, no, no, quite what we then go now. Who got the one more at that? I don't care. Who will you people want to want to do no one what to do no one why would be that we need that we are not happy, especially me and I don't happy. I don't happy at all. I want to go to another day capable to carry Biafra alone. I carry Biafra. I know not propaganda because there is too much propaganda in life. That is nonsense. I see all of them, I just keep quiet. Saddam said is enough. Let us sit up and do it for. You will go to go to you empower you go to choose. Oh no, maybe go to empower. Now we know something. Without telling nature, I want to say so. Then let us go there and never be alive. One day will all over to them. Put way so you can. I'm watching everything and I see everything and I take a credit. I can say come back. Agent Chineke only when I run as super. Baba, we on. And another time to put in the camera. This fundraising on our plan. Who goes on a base on our plan? It's with X. Ya try yanya. Ya try yanya. This fundraising since one in 1990 television was on the base on our mind. Happy joy and Biafra in the way in our flying at A. Especially in our flying at A. Or deny Biafrans this joy, Jenna, like Twitter. It's only opinion my thought private because of anyone born in the charge, they can't do anything. You can't do everything. You can't do everything. Before goes on a base, Blue, EJ, he will this fundraising Jenna Twitter and I will fight against it. This fundraising on Twitter, I will fight against it. I'm not happy as a fraud. I don't know what I can say. Okay. So many and before I take some decisions. I also know when the cabinet, I'm doing the cabinet. But open a cabinet, who cabinet to the truth. Because open a cabinet, who cabinet. Before I take some stupid decisions, who question the cabinet, who they have to take upon like this, when I take decisions, I can never allow that one to happen. Because some maybe look at that. And when we don't go up here for so maybe don't have my stand. Because I will never be allowed. Now, but it is on a to okay. I want to walk okay. I want to move I want to sabotage. I want to but even if but I will not calculate. I don't trust anybody. I trust nobody. I can say I'm working. Also, Bruno, and although I'm from the support on Tango, they support him. But I'm here, young Panama, they will fundraising AJ Twitter because I will single-handed bring it down. I promise. Thank you.
That's all for the voice notes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. And again, a lot of lies, a lot of threats, which I think this individual is going around right now, promoting those lies to Biafrans. And those people that are following Adadi Orama, I want to tell you that half of what you hear from Adadi Orama, they're all lies. She's not saying the fact. It's a lie. If you can hear her when she said that she will single-handedly bring down, if we do Twitter fundraising, just as a new way to raise more money for what we're doing, she said she would declare it as a fraud. Then you begin to ask your question, where is she from? I don't understand. But the reason why, not just these voices, that she's out there, this thing she said, again, I just want to let the reference know where she's coming from. She has a calculated motive to do what she has threatened to do. And that is what she's doing right now, where some Biafrans have been so depressed, some even crying, thinking that what she's saying is the truth, not knowing that most of the things she's saying are lies. And it is my duty to let Biafrans know the truth of the matter. so that those that are crying when she talks, those that are following her sheepishly, those that are thinking that information she's dishing out there, that their truth, you will be able to call the government, hear the side of the government, and then believe and know what you are saying and what you are believing.
Ọtụtụ ọmụmụ ndị gboo, ekene m unu niile. Ekene m ụmụ nze mụrụ nze m ọzọ. Ekene m ụmụ aja. Ekene m ụmụ ndị gboo. Agwakwara m ọnụ isi mgbasa ụtụtụ ka m na-agwa ụnọ nwekwa ihe. Emejekwana onwe ka emejekwa mmadụ. Enwekwana onye na-ebe si wee mejọ. Odo n'ụnanya. Unu ekwetene. Echi niile, I'm calling to record the conversation. I'm not record ya. Hear me and you leave message here. Our chief of staff, Dr. Ngozi, I'm not record your conversation. I'm coming up to see my task you on the phone. Join the call with it pharmacy Diana. Ofo bi simu record waya. I want to record ya. Because na ebe nkwulu okwu send the message o nwere ibe kpata nji wee gwa ya okwu. Ama na record ya echi niile. O ma ibe akpalo unu ebe a. Ibe akpalo unu record akpalo unu ka akpalo wee nye suspension. Mgbe za ya nyere suspension. Ibe akpalo ebe a ka akpalo ụmụnne m nwere ebe si kwujọ. Nwere ebe si mejọ. Ndị mmiri ya time a na-agba m ụwọ. Afa tere ebe na nzuzo mana ba ma ụmụnne m unu ọbụna asị nka nsị unu ka chifo Chineke ya na-anụrụ m ọgụ zoro ezo. Ihe nchọpụta o nwere ihe nchọpụtara kịta n'ihe mere today. Yes. Ana m egbe a na-agwa unu ụmụ ndị gboo. Oh my God. Ka nke a modern. Achọrọ m iji iwe were kwuo okwu. Ka mụọ m nọtụ ụmụnne m ka ọ dị n'ụtụtụ echi. Ma abịa live ụtụtụ echi. Obi n'igwe gọziele m unu, ya chekwala m unu. Agwara m unu na m aya disappoint unu. And ruo today, one can stand ebe a disappoint him. And I will never disappoint. So, ọkụ kwesịrị ede. Unu nwa ụmụ ndị gboo. Unu ya judge. Unu nwa ụmụ ndị gboo. Zọsọ unu ndị ya judge nụ. Egosi na unu alụ mmele. Gosi unu mpu mmele. Gosi unu everything. Unu ndị Louisiana. Unu enenezi ebe si we ibe akpọrọ ebe a. O nwere ebe si we megide. O nwere ebe si megide. Amaka dị na-apụtakwa ya apụta echi. Asụmụ gọọmenti. Protect the government. Ehewa with the government. Odogo n'anya na before m nwatiri pụta outside. Na mụ na ndụda akpa na nkata n'ime na ote nnụnụ wala ọgụ n'ime. O kwezi m wee pụtaba. Na anọkete m pụta na-ekwu họ. Mana Ngozi Olabeze ama na ọnwụ na ebe o wepụtawa go something. Anyị ewepụtazi conversation now. Anyị akpọzi now. Ọkwa chọrọ ka anyị mebezie nya. Ọwọkwa m onye bụrụ ụzọ bido. O dokwala ụnụ anya. Ihe ọ na mana na-emezi now. Because I've got na this government here, our government ọbata obie. Ihe ahụ gọọmenti Ngozi Olabeze. Ọbata obie, onwe ibe gbasara ọbata obie n'ibe Ngozi Olabeze na-eme. Ngozi Olabeze have formed his own government. And I could you kick him out. Ka ha fe mma ihe na-emenu. Mana ofuzenu ka ihe si eme everything na-emenu. Any day mmadụ ya apụtasị ma ada government. Odogo n'anya na the government ejiga akafa. Una afugo everything merenu na the government. I can see kwa. Ka ngwakwa m unu ụmụ ndị gboo. Mana the only thing na Chimeke unu mala ka unu yesi protect ye anu unu. unu maka unu esi protect anyị Igbo unu mara ibu ihe mgbe wekwa chekwa anyị Igbo unu jekweni chekwa anyị Igbo now onwezi any secret na-ezozi now mme open up now mma agwa Biafrans okwu unu chọọ ka anyị Igbo dị mma unu chọọ ka anyị Igbo pụọ n'aka ndị Fulani unu chọọ ka anyị Igbo pụọ jikwenụ kịta mara ka unu ya esi were mee kpọkụnata agwa galanti man ka ha jikwa anyị Igbo anyị onweghị ibe Ngozi Alabaeze na-eme onwekwa otu mkpụrụ anyị o nwere onwekwa o etikpene nya ọwụrụ mkpu ka ọ dị na-echi ụmụnne m kachiwonu ụmụ ndị gboo mgbe oluziela echi ga ekpe anụ onye mara iwe oyi ekwu ọkpọ na fonu mgbe m abịa echi because of that
my beautiful family, that brings us to the end of this update. Do well to like the video, share and subscribe. I still remain your one and only Progress the Analyst, as I will keep updating you on all the latest happening. Thank you and bye for now.